The following podcast is recorded and produced by the Podcast Precinct in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com. The Podcast Precinct. Consistency, creativity, culture.
The Nostalgia Funhouse proudly dedicates all episodes in the loving memory of Connie Chirac. Hey, Johnny. I'm glad you finally showed up.
Oh, yeah, man, I'm sorry. I got lost on my way here. I mean, this is a heck of a line for this show.
Yeah, I heard the show's great.
I've heard nothing but good things. The Talk No Less Politics show. It sounds fantastic to
I
me.
don't think we're standing in line for that one.
That's what,
I think
that's what this is.
No.
Politics? No, let's talk about it. That's what this show's called.
I see a different... Wait.
Okay,
No,
yes,
we're
politics.
No, we're standing in line for the Nostalgia Funhouse.
Oh, you know what? That sounds even better.
Jeez. You know what? They probably got a really great sponsor.
I bet they do.
Everybody's heading for Woolworth and Woolco to get set for Halloween. There's Star Wars costumes like Darth Vader and C-3PO. Superheroes like Spider-Man, Wonder Woman and Batman. There's the Shogun Warrior and many more, all at bare bones prices. Only $1.97 to $3.99. And wrapped candy of every kind to cheer any spirit. All at the favorite Halloween haunts, Woolworth and Woolco.
So, Johnny, we completed our first episode. I thought it was a smashing good time, as they would cross the pond.
First episode I've ever done of anything. It was impressive. I thought, not to toot my own flute, but I thought it was pretty great.
It was. And we started a new segment. Nostalgia Fix or Cash Grab Disc.
Ooh, yeah.
And you chose this week's, before we dive into our wonderful topic of Tyrion Halloween costumes. And you chose...
I chose, of course, because as of this recording, it's recently out.
Yeah.
That is, of course, the sequel to what I consider a Halloween staple for myself. Hocus Pocus 2 was released on Disney Plus. And me and you both have now seen it.
Yes.
And we're going to decide, hey, was this good? Or, should have not have ever been done.
It was, I had a feeling it was going to come down to either you or my wife making me watch this. Because I was like, that's cool, Hocus Pocus 2. Even, whatever, we can, I guess.
Yeah.
There's nothing else on. But,
it's really weird. Coming off the high of watching the Munsters from Rob Zombie.
It's funny. I watched James Rolfe over on Cinemassacre. He reviewed it.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything we said about it, he said.
Yeah. Now, in fairness to that movie, I have friends who I do really, take their opinions to heart. Like, I really respect their opinions, who did like it. But also, they did not like Hocus Pocus 2. And I am the complete opposite. I actually thought this movie, while for me, you're just never going to capture the same magic as the first one. The first one kind of comes out of nowhere. It's basically a movie that's made. It's like a typical 90s movie, but they take some chances. I mean, they say they say the word, it's a Disney movie, and they say the word virgin.
I liked that, though, and how he, redirected it.
Yes.
That was kind of a cool thing for me, because I was wondering how they were going to work that around.
Yes. So that's also in a sequel. They do bring that up again, but especially in the early 90s when the original came out in 93. It came out in the summer of 93, oddly enough. But that's because Disney also had another movie coming out around Halloween at the same, and they didn't want to compete against themselves. A little movie called The Nightmare Before Christmas. So both of these movies come out in the same year. Both are Halloween staples for me. I watch them both every Halloween. But you could argue Nightmare Before Christmas can kind of fit anywhere between Halloween and Christmas. It kind of works for all those. But
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus 2, honestly, Andrew, I enjoyed this movie. I was kind of apprehensive going into it just because, I really didn't like the Munsters remake. That put a bad taste in my mouth. And that was a beloved property for me. And I was like, I don't know if my soul could take another property that I like being, just kind of, this is harsh, but disgraced is how I would feel, right? And thankfully, it really helps that they had the main cast back, like the main three sisters. That helps a ton. You had Billy, the zombie, back. That really, really helps. The new cast, I've found to be really likable.
Yes.
I like that aspect of it. It really helps that the new kids here are likable. I also, I'll take anything that Buster Bluth is in. And he isn't. Tony Hale is in this, and I like him. So this thing had a lot going for it. So overall, I thought this was really good, and I can see myself doing from Halloween from here on out, watching 1 and 2, because they're both just really fun, goofy movies. And I will give I don't want to do spoilers for this movie because it's barely been out, but I did like how the movie ended.
Yes.
Yeah, it really showed what was important to certain characters, and I really like that. And did you see there's an after credit scene? Did you see it?
I don't think I did. I think at that point I just kind of turned it off.
It just hints that there's more to come. I mean, as any after credit scene would do.
Yeah, and that's what I actually did like about it. It was one of the things is that I may spoil it a little bit. Is it transitions in a way?
Yes, it does.
And it gave me a nice Cobra Kai. I'm not going to put it up on the same level as that. I'm saying feeling of these two, Cobra Kai, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yes, yeah, I get you.
Where I'm going to put it as a nostalgia fix, where I got my kind of nostalgia fix out of it, but I also feel this is something my kids could hold into their own with the characters that come in.
Yes, I agree. Absolutely.
And I think that's what a lot of these movies are. A lot of movies and stuff like that are trying to remake is they're not doing that or coming out with sequels of things. Is that you got to kind of find that line between satisfying the adult that remembers it from their childhood to still grasping the kid, their kids as well. So that way you can continue on.
Yeah, and that's not easy to do. I mean, we've seen many try and fail at that. Yeah, it's a great example. There's been many attempts at that, and that's the thing you got to remember. I mean, even my beloved Ninja Turtles have run into that, right? As they keep getting revamped for each new generation. I'd gotten to a point where I was just like, I am just glad that the property I like is still going on. It just might not be for me anymore. And while that's sad, I'm cool with the fact that I still had it in my childhood. But I agree with you. This is a nostalgia fix. I think one of the toughest things for these sequels that come out years later, or these things that are trying to remake and kind of bring back that feeling of the original, is it's really hard to capture the soul of the original, right? It's very, very tough to do that. And I felt like this sequel, again, I would still take the first over this one, but this one I still felt was good, and I felt it still had a soul of the first one, which really helps for me.
Yes, that wildered, just not bewildered, the wonder of everything. The story, they didn't rely heavily on the first Hocus Pocus. And
Right, but they referenced it. Yeah.
yes. And I am a sucker for in the beginning of movies where they kind of give you a backstory to the movie.
Yeah.
Like I love Hellboy 2 and the Golden Army because I love the story in the beginning. And this is what I liked about this one. At first I was like, oh, they're just rushing right into this. But then they show these sisters, why they stick together, why, why they kind of did the things that they did. In a way, even though they were bad, but why did they do it? And it was,
it does. And honestly, whoever they got, that kid that played Winifred was spot on. She was so good.
Oh, she was good.
She was so good. But yeah, I agree with you. It's just so tough for these movies. That's why I'm always apprehensive when I know these kind of things are coming out. Like I get excited. I was excited when Bette Midler was like, hey, we're going to do this again. So like, well, at least they're going to have them in it. I was really excited about that. But then you always get kind of apprehensive if you love the original that it's coming from. But I think they did a really good job here of, I had the writer of Hocus Pocus 2 was on a comedy podcast that I like, and they were talking about, obviously, this, and, it was very obvious from their conversation that she was a major fan of the original.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and that really helps here, I think. Like, you can tell, like, the original was important to whoever wrote this. Because nothing felt like it was sort of going against the first one. That's another thing that you have happen a lot, this retconning or like trying to fix things, which I get from a standpoint of, times change. They most certainly do. Stuff that works in the 90s wouldn't necessarily work now, but that doesn't mean you have to completely forget everything the original did. I mean, there's a reason why the original of something, there's a cry for more of it, right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm with you. Nostalgia fix for sure for me for Hocus Pocus 2.
Yeah, it was great, and as an adult, I am not a Hocus Pocus fan, but I liked Hocus Pocus 2 just because I looked at it as the points that I said. Do I get connected with the old, because I'm connected with the old characters, will I be connected in a way, or my kids be connected in a way with the new characters? Is there some type of common ground? And yes, that's why I think it's the greatest nostalgia fix.
Yeah, it definitely works. Yeah. Very happy that we have a positive nostalgia fix.
I still haven't finished the Munsters. I don't.
I did.
I know, but I got a question.
Okay, yeah.
I asked you this last week. If you didn't have to finish it for the other podcast, would you have finished it?
Oh man, I don't think so. It was so tough. It felt like a chore. Full spoilers for Monsters, Rob Zombie's Monsters. If you don't want to hear it, skip like 2 minutes. I really, even when something I don't like, I honestly do try to find positives there because I don't want to just be negative the whole time. Because that gets old to me if someone is just constantly negative about something. So I didn't want to do that. But that's all I kept feeling was just these negative feelings toward this thing that I wanted to love, right? I really wanted to love this because these are some characters that are some of my favorites ever. And I wanted them to come back. And if this was a success, then maybe they would do more, right? That's what you're hoping for. But again, this should have been a series. I did hear that Rob Zombie wanted this to be in black and white, but they wouldn't let him. Oh. And that is a shame because it needed to be in black and white. He was right on that aspect.
Yes.
There were a couple jokes that I did laugh at, but considering this movie it's very obvious it's doing wall-to-wall jokes, but I just didn't laugh at them, and I'm a really easy laugh. I'm very easy to get to laugh, but I was like, man, there's a couple really side gags that are very funny that I did enjoy. And at the very end of the movie, I'm talking very, very end of the movie, they do like a recreation of the original's opening where they're coming through the front door. And that was just cool just from a nostalgia factor. I like them doing that because that wasn't done in black and white as well. So that aspect I really enjoyed. They just made some weird decisions in this movie too. I just don't understand. So they finally, first of all, like I said before, Herman doesn't even show up for half an hour in this movie. This 2-hour long movie, by the way. Still annoyed by that. And then it takes them another hour before they even move to California, right? For even moving to that iconic house. So that doesn't even happen until like the last half hour of this movie. And it's been established at the beginning because this is sort of like just kind of an origin story for these characters, really. Mm-hmm. So you actually get to see how Herman was literally put together. He's put together from human beings. The character, there's a mad scientist who puts them together, who's a human being. But yet, when they're in California and they finally meet their neighbors outside during the day and realize that they're all human beings, they act like that's the scariest thing they've ever seen. Like those didn't exist before, which is a funny joke. But it just doesn't work because it's already been established that they know what human beings are and what they look like.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing I kept thinking about. If you're going to do that joke, you got to do that at the beginning and not have any of that origin stuff. Herman literally came from bits and pieces of people.
I think it's one of those things when you look at what they did with Spider-Man Homecoming, they didn't go back to the origin story because we all know the origin story by now.
Yeah, everybody knows how Frankenstein's monster came together.
Yeah. That's
a well-established thing. But the only reason I'm glad that they did it is because the two people, I don't know the actor's name, but the one who played the mad scientist and his lackey, who was played by the guy Hurley from Lost, they were, to me, some of the best parts of the movie. So, man, just from an acting standpoint, that's another thing too. The acting in that felt bad, but I think it was on purpose.
Yeah.
So I was like, for that. But you compare that to Hocus Pocus 2, where the acting I thought was actually very, very good. I mean, you got great actors there. So even the kids who I didn't know any of those kids. They might be all newcomers. I thought they were all great. So
yeah, I liked it. I thought all the acting was pretty good, especially for like a Disney movie.
Yeah,
I like Gilbert the Great. That was a cool little story where he kind of like fanboy out, and it's like, don't meet your idols in a way. Sometimes it's not always good to meet your idols. I felt like at a certain point. And the minute I found out Doug Jones was in it, this guy's got to have like the most moisturizers and stuff with all the prosthetics and everything he has to wear throughout.
I am beyond curious how long in his lifetime he spent in the makeup chair. It's got to be forever, right?
Yeah, because he's on. I don't know if he's still on. I haven't watched too many of the new seasons, but he was on Star Trek Discovery, and once again played an alien. Tons of prosthetics and everything else going on to his face.
Well, he's done a lot of the Del Toro movies too.
Yeah,
where he's playing those characters that are monsters. Like he was that one really scary monster-looking thing in Pan's Labyrinth. He was in what's the fish movie that Del Toro did? It's like his latest one, the one that won the awards. I didn't see it, but he's like that. I've seen that character though, and that's a lot. That's a lot of work. So this guy's been behind the makeup chair a long time for his career, but man, he's so good.
Yeah, because he played I don't know if you ever watched Falling Skies.
Yes.
He was the alien that came down. Spoilers, if you've never seen it. Great series. He's the alien that came down. I think at the end of season 2 or 3, I would have to say.
Yeah, I'm looking up his filmography right now. He's
done a lot. I know he was, I just mentioned Hellboy 2 and I can't remember the guy's name.
Oh, The Shape of Water was the other movie I was thinking of.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in the Hellboy movies. He just plays all these characters. Who was he in Batman Returns?
Wait, he was in The Thin Clown.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
You know, there was the Thin Clown.
Yeah, the Thin
Clown, the regular size clown.
You know, all the different sizes of clowns.
That sounds like the Batman beat 'em up game.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I remember thinking, those beat 'em up games where they would give them names, but it was always something like that. The Spider-Man ones are really fun because like you're beating up on a guy named Fred or something.
I just did. Was it the Pirates of Dark Water? Like a Let's Play on the YouTube? And it was the same thing. It was like, come on, guys, can we not think of anything else? It was like Fat Pirate, or it was just like, or Tattoo tattoo pirate or something like that. And I'm like, oh, and they would just color swap.
Yeah, that is a thing of beat 'em ups. Just change Turtles did it great with all the foot soldiers. There's all kinds of different colors swaps there.
But with all the talk of prosthetics and makeup and everything else, are you ready to tier Halloween costumes?
That's right. For, of course, the month of October.
Yes.
This is a very appropriate thing. Right before we get into the tiering, Andrew, what was a costume? You're very lucky. You've told us tales of the great stuff that your mom would make.
Yes.
What is like a costume that you always wish you could have been, but you never got to be?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
I don't think I got this question asked to me once. I don't think I had one. I think the weirdest costume I ever wanted to be, because as a kid, I don't know, you're a comic book fan. Do you remember when Marvel would come out with those encyclopedia issues?
Oh, yeah, yes.
And I wanted to be, for like a split second, because it was pretty much like flip through the comics, see what you want to be at a certain point.
Yeah.
I wanted to be Bucky. Not like the Bucky we see now. Not like cool Winter Soldier Bucky.
Before Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm talking about Bucky with like looking like Robin.
Yes. Yeah, I know you're talking about. He's got the little face mask and everything.
Yeah.
The eye mask, really. Yeah.
the red boots. I think that's the only one. Other than that, I don't think there was anything where it was like, man, I wanted to be that. But I knew I wanted to be Bucky. And then I don't know what came along after that where I was like, oh, okay, I don't want to be Bucky. I don't know why I wanted to be Bucky. He just looked kind of cool to me at that point, but he's not cool anymore. Like, when you hear Bucky, you're like, oh, you want to be cool Winter Soldier? No, I want to be like 1940s Bucky.
Yeah.
Chilling with Captain America. Okay.
Yeah, mine would probably have to be, I never got to be a Cyclops, and that's probably my one I always wanted to be, and I never done. But I was always I was always a big kid in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So I also was like trying to figure out, even as a young kid, like what costumes would I be more appropriate for, sort of thing. And like I was like, so one time I really wanted to be, because one of my favorite Marvel characters is Doc Ock, and I was like, man, I really want to be him, but I never got to be him either. So it would be a toss up between those two, I think.
Yeah, I think because if I gotta go favorite, geez, it's a tie between when I was Leonardo as a Ninja Turtle and when I was Cyclops. But like,
well, mine's Raphael. I guess this is a given. That's why I didn't ask that.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a given for me and you both.
But the cool thing about that I liked about the Cyclops costume is this kind of like when I believe the cartoon was coming into play. I was the X Factor.
Yeah.
Cyclops.
Yeah, I think everybody thinks Jim Lee's version, right?
Yeah.
The 92 cartoon, but yours is the one with the white X's and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, Cyclops has had some pretty sweet costumes, honestly.
I love Cyclops.
Yeah, he's my favorite too.
That's
so weird. Like, for the longest time, most of my friends just like, I can't believe you like that character, but then you and Matt and myself are all Cyclops fans. That's pretty wild.
What got it for me was like when I was in 4th grade, I had to wear glasses. That's when I started wearing glasses. And I was like, oh, so it's kind of one of those relatable things.
Yes. Yeah.
If you can relate to the character, he's got to wear glasses all the time. I got to wear glasses because most of the time, if who was cool in comic books that wore glasses, like what, Clark Kent, but he took those off to become Superman. So
that's who he was. Oh man.
Yeah. Oh, damn it! Spoiler.
Always on in comics how easy it is to disguise yourself. That's always the greatest thing.
So that was kind of like my start of the love of Cyclops. That?
Yeah, I like the color red, so that really helped.
There you go.
And that's what color his visor was, and it really stood out. And his optical blasts were freaking sweet.
But are you ready?
Let's do this. So we got a list here of random costumes, and we're going to put them in a tier.
All right. First, we forgot to mention the tiers. Tier 1 is I would wear that as an adult, which means no matter how old you are, you would still want to wear that costume. Tier 2 is you had to be there. This is something we would probably just wear as a kid, not so much as an adult, but we would want to wear, kind of like me with Bucky. Very odd. And then, not my first choice, maybe your parents were busy or something came up and they couldn't make it to the store to get your Halloween costume. So it's kind of like, I guess I'll be that. And classic Seinfeld reference of the lowest tier, but I don't want, I'm sorry, but I don't want to be a pirate. Which means like you just don't want to be that costume.
Yeah. All right. So we have 25 random ones.
Yep.
Some of them are very specific, and some of them are like ones you would think of when you think of Halloween for sure. So, Andrew,
and we're not looking at pictures. We're just kind of like what I say. We're just kind of like throwing up a name and saying, "Do we want to be it?"
That's right. Andrew, what's the first one?
Forrest Gump. Greatest movie ever.
Who dresses in 2022? Who dresses up as Forrest Gump? Please let us know. I'm excited to see Forrest Gump costume. This is a fantastic film.
I own a Forrest Gump jersey. I own a Forrest Gump Alabama jersey.
Man, that guy was really good at ping pong.
Yeah.
He was a fantastic. Oh, man. Where are you going to put Forrest Gump?
Me? Oh, I'm wearing this as an adult. This is all day.
How do you imagine your Forrest, like, because he has a couple different looks in the movie. So which look are you thinking of here?
I'm thinking Bubba Gump hat.
Yeah. Yes.
With, this is going to sound so old, the slacks.
Mm-hmm. It does sound old, you're right.
That's the only way I can think of it. They're not khakis, and all. Somebody in the back of my mom and grandma going, they're slacks. And, the blue kind of flatted shirt.
Yeah.
Just simple.
Yeah.
Simple.
And you gotta have a box of chocolates too, right? You gotta have that. Yeah, I'm gonna put it just one level below that. I love this movie, but never once have I thought I need to dress up as Forrest Gump. But I'm not mad at it either. So.
I love Forrest Gump.
Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah.
My wife will not watch it with me. Nobody in my house will watch it with me because I pretty much know every single line. And I loved it so much. Senior year, we had to watch it, and our English teacher handed us out a packet. And, we would watch so much each day. And by the end of class, I handed in the packet. And she goes, "How did you do that? You didn't watch the whole movie." And I said, "This is my favorite movie ever. I know pretty much every little thing in there that you put into this packet. I've watched over and over and over and over and over again."
So your Forrest Gump is like my Ernest P. Worrell trilogy.
Yeah.
He's also knows his main three movies a million times. Or four. Yeah, he goes to jail too.
Yeah. I saw that in the theater, so that's...
I did too. Yep. All right. Next one is Joker. This is a pretty popular one, even today.
Yeah, but I don't like the ones today. Because everybody goes off the Jared Leto, I feel, sometimes.
Yeah, and I didn't care for that design to him. I mean, it's fine. Heath Ledger's Joker is much better for me. If you're going to do that one I think is cooler. But I really like, if you're going to do Mark Hamill animated Joker version, that's top tier for me. So I'm still going to put this in the second tier, I think, because I don't know which one you're going to go with. If you're going to go with, it could be all kinds of different versions, or if you're going to do, the 60s,
I love the Cesar Romero one.
Yeah, if you're going to go with that one, that's top tier all day long.
I remember when my uncle got married, I was so excited because I got to wear, like, the tails on the back of the coat.
Yeah.
That's when, like, superpowers were big, the superpower toys, and that's how the Joker looked.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going, you had to be there.
I think so, yeah. Because there's just so many different versions of him.
Yeah.
I just don't know which one people are going to pick. If we had, like, a specific one, like if we specifically said the Adam West Joker, the Caesar one, I'm going with the mustache. That's A tier all day long for me, but it just depends on which one we're talking about.
I still wear it as an adult, just not the Jared Leto. Like, I'm going all encompassing. Like, I would have my full Joker catalog out going, which one I'd be. I would like to be the.
Sadly, I'd probably be one of his henchmen, the fat clown.
I just want to make a beat up game and just be the guy who like name these people.
Yeah, I want to be that. Just come up with names. There's Jim.
Who is this guy? He's got a vest on. We're gonna name him Guy with Vest. No, his power meter's small. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna call him, like you said, it's gonna be Vesty.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
I threw this one in because you sent me that awesome picture. That is Nightcrawler from X-Men.
Oh man, such an iconic look. If you can, there's this picture going around on the Twitter of like an old, I think it was homemade Nightcrawler costume. It's freaking sweet. It looks so good. And if you're going to get that, that's A tier, just because how freaking cool it is. I would wear that now if it was possible. So I think I gotta go A tier just because of how freaking cool it looks. What about you?
I'm gonna put Nightcrawler wouldn't be something that I would want. Like, not really so much even as a kid in a way. Actually, you know what? I did like him in the Pride of X-Men. I think it would be you had to be there. I love. Come on, Nightcrawler in Pride of X-Men was great.
He was. You could argue he's one of the biggest heroes in it. But
yeah,
I just love that. That's what you reference with X-Men, is the Pride of X-Men. That's my favorite thing.
Well, it was the first time you get to hear him kind of speak on people.
X-Men.
Saves the day.
Oh, here we go.
I totally misspelled this. As I just typed it in real quick before we started recording.
All right, so next up, here, I'll do it. Right, next up, we got Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh.
Oh, jeez. Okay, it's supposed to be Scooby-Doo.
All right, so I love Scooby and Scooby-Doo. I love them both. This is tough for me, though, because I don't think I would dress up as Scooby-Doo now. But if I was a kid and my mom was like, hey, I got you a Scooby-Doo costume, I'd be over the moon excited to dress up as Scooby-Doo. Or Shaggy, of course, either one of those two. So I'm going to give, this is going to be in that, I'd wear this as a kid, I think. What about you?
To be honest with you, I think I'm going to go with not my first choice.
Oh.
I'm not a big Scooby-Doo fan, but I was a big fan of the Scooby-Doo crossover with the teenage kicking frogs.
Now that's an episode later on we could do, is like all the things that Scooby-Doo has crossed over with. He's had so many ridiculous, like out of the box crossovers. Literally on Cartoon Network, they advertise it's coming out soon. Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog have a crossover.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm going to watch it.
I liked Scooby-Doo as a kid, but it wasn't something I sought out. And I was more excited, like, when his cousin, I can't remember what his name was, but the White Great Dane would be on.
Oh, what was his name? See, I was also one of the few that liked his little nephew that everybody hated.
Oh,
but but I was a kid when I saw Scrappy. So Scrappy, I was like, oh, Scrappy's awesome. But I was a kid, so.
Yeah, you can't. I loved my favorite Scooby-Doo, as we're getting off subject.
Scooby-Dum, that's it.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo. I like Scooby-Dum, but my favorite one is Scooby-Doo. Like, just kind of like they didn't do. It wasn't a crossover, but it was Scooby-Doo and the 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah,
you have Vincent Price doing the voiceover.
Yes, yeah,
I like that one.
The original Scooby-Doo still hold up, by the way.
I threw this one in there just for you, Johnny. All the listeners.
This is Doug. I'd wear that now. Doug / Quailman, either one.
Yeah, I should have put Quailman in there.
That is A tier all day long.
Oh, jeez. I gotta go. Right.
What an easy costume, too, by the way.
Yes. I'm right here with, but I don't want to be a pirate.
I knew you were going to do that.
I'm not a Doug guy. I'm sorry. Kind of.
That's a great.
I watch cartoons and stuff to escape and to find people. I know we talked about relatability, but find people that you kind of like want to be in a way. Like Doug just seems miserable.
I know. I relate to that.
I know, but I don't want to be miserable all the time. Just like I don't want to be Doug.
Oh, here we go.
Marty McFly.
All right, this is A tier, right?
Oh, yeah.
easily A tier.
I don't see anywhere else you would want to even put this.
Yeah, what an awesome character. Good gosh. And I would take any, we're talking iconic, probably Marty McFly, but I would even take Back to the Future 3 Western Marty McFly as well.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I would even try and go as far as being like older Marty McFly.
Oh, yeah, yes.
From Back to the Future 2.
Yeah.
There's so many. There are a lot of variations of Marty McFly. We know where this next one is Luke Skywalker. I'm pretty sure we both agree.
A tier, yeah.
Yeah, we would wear this as an adult.
Yep, I would most certainly wear this if I could pull off a Skywalker.
Which variation of Skywalker?
That's a great question.
Let's go. Like, if you're gonna pick one,
I'm going to go because Return of the Jedi is my favorite. I'm going to go the black when he's fighting Vader. That's the look I'm going to go with.
Okay, that would probably be. Yeah, I like that one. Or I'd go like crazy Oxwing pilot Luke.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
I like that. Next one is kind of a generic one, baseball player.
Right, yeah, but I think that's one that a lot of kids would dress up as, right?
Yeah, my first Halloween costume as a not quite 1-year-old yet, so my mom was like, here, this is what we're going to do. So there's random pictures of me just stuffed in a corner of the couch.
And as we're recording this, Aaron Judge just literally beat the home run record for the season.
No, American League.
Oh, sorry.
Barry.
I was trying to appreciate with my baseball.
First person that hasn't been accused of steroid abuse to put the home run record.
But his career is young, Andrew.
True. A-Rod's gotten it twice, so.
Yes.
I'm sure
it's going to come out at some point. But I think this is an iconic costume. I was way more of a basketball guy, but I did like baseball, and that to me would be like a fun costume, and it just makes me remember. Anytime I see baseball player costume, I just think about that one gang in the Warriors that was all
baseball face.
Yeah. I don't know why I always makes me think of that. So that's a great memory for me. Man, I think I would wear this as a kid, but it wouldn't be my first choice. But I wouldn't be upset if I had to be a baseball player.
I'm in the same boat. It's just not my first choice.
Yeah.
Like if it's there, I'm like, I guess I'll be a baseball player.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we got? He-Man. I think if anybody's listened to the show and knows where I'm putting He-Man, I'm so not able to wear this as an adult, but I would say screw it just to wear it as an adult.
Yeah, I'm not even allowed to go outside topless. I can't take my shirt out in public or I'll get arrested, with good meaning. So I look at He-Man's physique with complete jealousy.
Yes.
And, but if for some miracle, if God decides to shine his miracle light upon me and allow this to happen, I'd be over the moon. So this has got to be A tier. Like, who would want to dress up as He-Man? Or as a kid, when you get those little plastic muscle costumes, now we're talking.
There's pictures of my brother who used to run around and he'd have his like 80s jean shorts. And then you know how you'd like pull your shirt over your head, but it's still on?
Yeah.
And then you put like this wiffle ball bat in the back. That was like his sword. And then he would run around in like cowboy boots. And that was him being He-Man.
Yeah, but he's A tier though, right? Yeah. Easily.
What about it? If you find the Sword of Power, though, and you call on the power of Grayskull.
Oh, maybe it'll transform me. Yeah.
Yeah, your physique would change.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Cowboy.
All right, another generic one.
Classic.
Very classic. Here's the thing, Andrew.
Yeah.
I love Westerns. I have a deep love for them. My grandpa, who I was very close to, my namesake even, he also loved Westerns, and I would watch them with him, so I have a very fond memory of Westerns. So if I dressed up as a cowboy, I would be totally happy with it. I never did it for some reason, but I would do it now. I gotta go A tier. I just love Westerns, so cowboy's totally cool with me.
Cowboy, let's see. I think it's one of those not my first choice. I do like Westerns, but I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let me move that up because I'm thinking I'm an accessory guy with Halloween costumes. My wife hates this.
Yeah.
Like my son was Star-Lord and I made sure I went out and got him like kind of like almost a Sony Walkman. So
Yeah, yes.
he could have it.
Yep.
So I think I'd wear this as, definitely probably do this as an adult. Who would want to wear 2 6-shooters or, carry your...
Chaps.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can pick like a specific famous cowboy if you want to dress like even.
Oh, when my mom came to visit here, there's a museum, a John Wayne museum, but then there's Roy Rogers stuff.
Oh, man.
And they had Roy Rogers' horse. And
Oh, man. What was his name? He had a name.
what? That's not Trigger, is it?
I was going to say Bullet. I think one of us is right.
Bullet was his dog.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. I think you're right. I think it is Trigger.
It is. Yeah, it is Trigger.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
Bullet was his dog.
Roy Rogers is, oh man, he was so big, and I think a lot of people now don't even know who he was, and it's so sad to me.
Well, we took her because we have, in Fort Worth, we have the stockyards, and you can watch like longhorns run through the road and stuff like that in a safe manner. And they do like Wild West shootouts, and you can ride mechanical bulls. It's just kind of like a Texas tourist attraction type thing.
Yeah.
And it was really hot. So we went into the John Wayne thing, and I didn't pay to go through the whole entire museum, but there's a nice little thing, and we're sitting there, and I can't remember why my son needed a shirt, but he needed a shirt, so I was like, well, I think it got soaked or something, so I was like, we'll get him a John Wayne one, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I hear, oh my goodness, it's Trigger, and I'm like, why are you like, and she was just so excited to see Roy Rogers' horse. Like, the whole trip, that was, like, her highlight, is to see Roy Rogers' horse.
Yeah, my grandpa was a John Wayne fella, so I saw a lot of John Wayne movies. But my grandma loved Roy Rogers, so I saw a lot of Roy Rogers stuff, too. So I have a great love for both of those.
Our next one is Buzz-Off from He-Man. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yes, he's literally his namesake, just like he sounds, he's a bee.
He's a bee. I was him for Halloween one year with
I wish you had a picture.
with the it was the crappy costume. The classic 1970s, 1980s, you're sweating every 5 seconds, thin rubber band. Oh, here it is, right here.
Oh, you found the costume.
I did find the costume.
Oh, man.
Come on, load up. Yeah, there it is. That's what I wore. Buzz-Off. It says it right on, like they don't know. This is the best costume for when adults don't know what you are.
Yeah. Yes.
I
bet you got asked a lot.
Yeah. Look at
man, look at that Alf one.
That's so great.
But Andrew found this site. The ET one. I love that they're just putting pictures.
What is it? It's youniversitytv.com.
All right, so he's looking at all of these classic old school costumes that were really popular during our childhood, Andrew, where it was like the body of it was this plastic, like you said, that you would just sweat through. But like they tried to resemble some sort of character, and then of course you had the really cheap plastic mask with a rubber band that held it on that always either hurt your hair, pulled your hair, or it snapped. It's one or the other.
It was like trying to breathe through a straw while your face is getting cut by razor blades.
Yeah.
Look at this Rubik's Cube one.
It's so great. There's some amazing ones. The Alpha Smurfs. There you go. There's Buzz-Off. Oh, man. Some great ones. That really brings you back. That was my Raphael costume, I'm pretty certain.
Was that?
Yeah.
It was so bad. I was the Count from Sesame Street out of those. Those are the only 2 I can really remember wearing.
Well, those are classics. All right, so Buzz-Off, man, just for that trip down memory lane, I got to give him, he wouldn't be my first choice, but, I'd feel totally awesome if I dressed up as him. If that makes any sense.
You had to be there?
Yeah, you had to be there, I think. But I still love it.
I would wear Buzz-Off as an adult.
And I want you to incredibly badly and take pictures. That would make our social media for this show just fly off the handle.
I own the original Buzz-Off. I bought it at a toy store for $10. One of my greatest purchases ever. And it was $10, so I was like, I have to do this. And then I actually own the He-Man Origins Buzz-Off. So
there you go.
I'm a semi-Buzz-Off fan, and I also follow a guy that on Instagram where his name is Buzz-Off, and he just collects nothing but Buzz-Off stuff with Masters of the Universe.
That's really cool. All right. Well, speaking of really cool, Ninja Turtles, A tier. I don't even feel like we need to discuss this.
I would be a Ninja Turtle as an adult.
Yeah, I still think of myself as one.
Do you eat pizza with your size?
Most certainly do. All right. Oh man, this is another easy one.
This is a Skeletor. This is great because it works on two levels. You're probably one of the coolest villains ever.
Yes.
You are one of the coolest villains ever, not even properly. But then you're also a skeleton.
Hey man! Yeah, and what a great character design, honestly. Probably one of the better villain character designs of all time, I would say. This is A tier for me all the way.
I figured I just don't want to make up your decision for you with Skeletor. A Ghostbuster.
We're just getting A tiers left and right here.
Yeah.
This is also A tier. I love Ghostbusters. Dressed up as one I would do that now. And honestly, I would pick any of them because all four of them are awesome. I was always leaning toward Egon for whatever reason.
I love Egon.
Even though I'm probably personality-wise more of a Peter Venkman, but I definitely love Egon. So, but here we go.
Yeah. I would love to do like real Ghostbusters too, the cartoon version.
Yes.
That would be great too. I don't think I'd go with the Filmation Ghostbusters because I got to mention them because I just put Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
And I know there's the one guy going, what about the Filmation ones? There's always that one guy, I realized.
Yeah.
Always that one.
To be fair, though, I'm probably that one guy in something. I'm sure I am.
So here's one, your co-host of Retro Bliss, Trevor, put out there, and I guess from what I understood, he was a cat. You know him better than me. You grew up with him.
All right, so he's had some fantastic costumes.
Can you confirm or deny Trevor Franklin as a cat?
I'm sure it's happened. I can't remember. He's had some really classic Trevor looks for me.
Trevor looks.
Yeah, he is. When we were growing up, he was. I don't know. Like his body has changed so much. It feels weird talking about one of my best friend's bodies, but like he's gone from like when we were like a late kid, early teen, like in the 12, 13 age, he became like a string bean. Like he became really lean looking, and then he filled out obviously after that. But I try to remember. He's had all kinds of crazy costumes. I think I do remember the cat one, come to think of it, and I've dressed up as a cat as well.
Have you?
Yeah. So I can't. And if I'm being honest, I have cats. I've become a cat person. I never thought I would because I've always loved. I've always been a dog fella. But man, I got cats that I absolutely love. They're part of my family. So would I dress up as a cat? Sure. It's not going to be my first choice.
Okay.
But I would. But I'm not mad at it. What about you?
I'm gonna go with but I don't want to be a pirate on this one either. I can't be.
I can't hate on
cat.
I can't hate on cats. I feel like I'd be a hypocrite.
As I've gotten older, I've become like highly allergic to like the dander and cat fur.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah,
and
a lot of people are,
and I feel like the cats know it.
Oh, they do, man. They can be real jerks.
Like we used to stay at my mom's friend's house, and when I would have to go back and forth to Maryland, and her husband had this cat. Obviously, not. It was funny enough, named Trevor, and this cat would only sleep on my pillow.
Yeah. Yes.
Nobody else's pillow. Nobody else's room. Just go right in there and sleep right there. Like,
yeah. See, I understand why you don't like cats. There's a reason why I don't like ferrets, and it's Trevor's ferret's fault. So.
I would rather have a cat or a dog, but I can't, and I think they would just mess with me.
Oh, they would. Yeah, for sure. All right. So next up, we got Vampire. This is a classic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would do that today. So I guess that's gonna go A tier.
You're gonna go Vampire?
Yeah, I gotta go A tier because are we considering the Count from Sesame Street Vampire?
Yeah,
so there we go. Are we considering Leslie Nielsen's Dracula, Dead and Loving a Vampire? Yeah, I gotta go A tier.
I'm gonna go not my first choice.
I just gave you two reasons why it should be, Andrew.
I know you did, but
I'm talking classic vampire. I'm not talking this new age, whatever they are now. Back in my day, vampires. What I'm talking about.
I'd rather be Blade.
All right, so now we got Link from Zelda.
Yes. I think this is another easy one.
Yeah.
Even though I suck at these games, I still love them.
Same. Yeah. I mean, that's
I would be Link as an adult. It would be a very like middle age Link. Like Link actually rescued Zelda for the last time and kind of let himself go because he's like, I don't think he's Ganon anymore, Link. But I would dress up as Link.
That's a Zelda I want to play, though. Like the middle-aged Link, like he's kind of let himself go a little bit. He's sort of just, he's kind of resting on the laurels of all his heroics from before. He doesn't feel like he needs to do anything else.
He's got to get a job because of all the rupees. The rupees have run out from the adventures, so now he's got to find a new way to get rupees. He's selling his mask from Majora's Mask.
He lives by himself in an apartment.
People are lowballing him for the Triforce.
Yeah, this is A tier all the way for me as well. But man, that's a Zelda I desperately want to play now.
Zelda, the middle-aged years. Coming soon to an episode of Retro List.
Oh, here we go.
I put this one in. This is what I think everything, but I love the story of another podcasting host, Matt Johnson. Go check out Eat, Sleep, and List, the panel discussion. Retro Pop, a co-host of yours as well. And I love this story about Spider-Man, so I threw this in there just for him. But like I said, it's Spider-Man.
Yeah, it's A-class all the way. Iconic character.
I am going with You Had to Be There.
Oh, okay. I couldn't pull it off now, but I would totally be Spider-Man.
You could be
middle-aged, let himself go Spider-Man.
Yeah, the one from, what is that? Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I'm that Spider-Man. Yeah. I'd rather go eat at a diner than stop a crime.
I gotta fix the meatloaf. I had a check it out. Somebody's getting robbed outside. Oh, I gotta go save crime. But I got a coupon. No, sir, this coupon expired. That's your greatest fight. It's fighting the expiration dates on coupons.
We're just getting coupons in the first place.
Stealing people's penny savers off the porch with your web. 2-for-1 Whopper. No, that's a deal.
Hey, I can go to Burger King because of coupons and eat for like under $5. Eat like a king.
Yeah, I didn't think that's. I love our middle-aged ones.
Yes. All right, so Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
And as a kid, I thought it was State Puff. I'm not going to lie.
I did too.
Okay.
There's a lot of characters that I had the name wrong as a kid, but I can easily pull this off today.
I think this is definitely a costume that we look fine in, and that's why I would wear it as an adult.
Of all the ones that we've talked about, this is the one I'm the most confident I could pull off. I'm going to go, so it's A tier for me because I feel good about myself that I can actually be a character. Nobody wondered why he let himself go.
My son was for Halloween one year, but he had the inflatable costume. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. See, I wouldn't need one of those. I'll just go as
here we go. This is the one I've been waiting for. Other than Doug, this is the one that I was been waiting for. Johnny, what tier would you put Jar Jar? The wonderful Mr. Jar Jar Binks.
All right, so I come from a world of thinking that people were way too angry about a character in a movie that is meant for all ages. It's not meant just for adults, right? So
yeah.
But this is myself speaking. I saw Jar Jar as an adult. I mean, when those movies first came out, I graduated in 01, so I was like a late age teenager, I guess, when I first met Jar Jar. And he did nothing for me, personally. In fact, I found him very annoying. But I know a lot of kids who grew up with him who like him. So I'm not going to sit here and trash him, but he's just not for me. But this is my tiering, and he's going in the bottom for me. I think this is my first one I'm putting in the bottom.
Yes, it has been.
Yeah, because he's just not for me. He's not. I would never want to dress as this, and plus it feels kind of racist now. Because there's no way I, as a white man, should be dressing as Jar Jar, nor should I be talking like Jar Jar. That's for sure.
You can't be a Gungan?
Yeah, Gungan. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
I'm gonna go. I wouldn't want to be this.
I wouldn't want to be this at all.
I would not be happy. Han Solo. I think
man.
this one.
A tier all the way, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's another question for you. For my Star Wars podcast, we've been going back and watching the Star Wars movies, obviously, and we just watched Empire. And do you think I pronounce it like you say? I say Han, but often in the movies they say Han Solo. Which one do you think it is?
I like Han.
I like Han as well. That's what I always go with.
Han Solo makes it. I don't know. Makes it
Just
sound.
put a D on the end of that. It's just Han Solo.
Yeah, Han Solo. I like Han.
There's a lot of jokes I can make there, and I won't do it.
How does Lando say it? Just go by what Lando says.
I think he says Han.
Oh, then don't go with what Lando.
All right. Mario / Luigi. It's
So
an AT.
Yeah, Mario Brothers.
I might be able to pull off Mario, to be honest with you. He's kind of a big dude, right? He's kind of got a bit of a vibe of letting himself go a little bit.
Yeah, I'm top tier on this one too. Would wear as an adult. Captain Lou did an amazing Mario,
Yes,
and nobody ever gives him credit.
I do. That's my Mario.
I put up so much stuff, and they're still like Bob Hoskins. No,
That's not a real Mario. The real Mario is Captain Lou all the way.
Darth Vader.
A tier easily. One of the top, villains of all time. An incredibly iconic look. Everybody, all you got to do is have the helmet. Everybody knows exactly who you are. So,
Yeah.
Vader is A tier all the way.
Could you do? All right, I'm getting crazy here.
Okay.
All right, I put it in top tier as well too, because who wouldn't want to be Vader? Could you pull off an Anakin Vader?
Oh,
Like, because he is dubbed Darth Vader before the suit.
that's right. Yeah, he is. He is.
Wear some Sith contacts going in there, and
Yeah, he's called Darth Vader before he goes and just murders children. Right. Or younglings, as they say.
younglings.
I don't know. I think the Vader with the mask and everything's way cooler to me.
I think that is cooler, but I think I'd give you points for
Oh, I'd
being
give you
a little bit
points.
original for that one.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I would do that. All right. So next up is, of course, Clown. Just
This is
Clown.
another Trevor Franklin.
I remember this one. I've also dressed up as a clown before. And I guarantee a lot of people think I'm still one of these.
This is the second clown on the list.
Yeah, but this is a generic clown. When I think clown, I think of the happy circus ones. I'm not thinking of the creepy ones that like to try to creep people out in their neighborhoods and stuff. I do not care for those.
You're thinking like Bozo and stuff.
Yeah, the fun ones, you know. This is a classic costume, but I'm having a tough time. What are you thinking for this one?
I am gonna go with I don't want to be a pirate. Like, this is bottom tier for me. I would rock the Joker, but that's a cool, like, I don't want to be a clown. I don't know what it is.
I have respect for clowns, like I'm talking the real ones, because I have a respect for comedy in general. But I'm going to agree with you. I don't want to be a clown. I don't think.
Yeah.
All right.
And last one is kind of saving almost the best for last here is Batman. I think this is top tier.
Yeah, Batman's obviously top tier. I don't even know why this discussion's even happening.
Yeah.
I think anybody in their right mind would be like, yeah, who wouldn't want to be Batman?
Who would have? It's Batman. What?
Yeah.
There's no. Could you go as Bruce Wayne? Because that's a different, but that's different.
Yeah, that is different.
That's a whole different costume. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but wouldn't you just be a guy in a suit?
True.
With dark hair, and that's kind of your Bruce Wayne there. That's kind of it.
So you can make a better costume out of Clark Kent than you can out of Bruce Wayne.
I think so, just because you got the extra accessory there, and also I've seen a lot of really good Clark Kents where they'll have like the hat, right, and they'll have like a like where you can pull the suit to the side apart and have the S sit there. I've seen really sweet Clark Kent costumes. So I think I would put Clark Kent above Bruce Wayne when it comes to costumes, but Batman is just A tier, 100% all the way.
So that concludes the tiering of Halloween costumes, and I think Johnny, I think you win a little. No, I think we're about at the same level. For the top tier, I would wear this as an adult. I went with Forrest Gump, the Joker, Marty McFly, Luke Skywalker, He-Man, a cowboy, Buzz Off, a Ninja Turtle, Skeletor, Ghostbuster, Link from Zelda, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Han Solo. No, it's Han. I tried it. It didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right, does it?
No. It's like drinking. My cousin drinks Gatorade out of a can, and I tried it, and it just didn't feel right.
That doesn't seem right. I didn't even know that happened.
I tried to talk to Matt about it, and he just called me a boomer, and I'm like, no, it doesn't work right. Mario and Luigi, Darth Vader, Batman, Johnny in his top tier had Nightcrawler, Doug, of course he did, Marty McFly, Luke Skywalker, He-Man, a cowboy, Ninja Turtle, Skeletor, Ghostbuster, Vampire, Spider-Man, Han Solo, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, Mario, Luigi, Darth Vader, and Batman. And for our second tier, you had to be there. I had Nightcrawler and Spider-Man because I'm not a big fan of Spider-Man. And then you had to be there for Johnny was Forrest Gump, Joker, Scooby-Doo, or Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo. And then and Buzz Off. Not my first choice is Scooby-Doo, baseball player, vampire. For Johnny, not his first choice, for baseball player and cat. And for I don't want to be a pirate, I have Doug, where he should be, Cat, Jar Jar, and Cloud, and Johnny just has Jar Jar and Cloud. So that is our Halloween costume tiering list. I think I'm very happy with all my choices and seeing Doug once again in the bottom tier.
You're breaking my heart, but other than that, I agree. Yeah, I think we've done the Lord's work here. Very proud of us. Before we sign off, though, Andrew, I think it's time to tell the dear listeners that, hey, if you listen to the show and you like it and you care to throw some support our way, we got a way to do that, don't we, Andrew?
Yes, we do. We just started a Patreon, and right now, just kind of starting out, it would $1 a month get you some exclusive content that we don't do on the show, maybe a little bit expanding on content on the show of maybe we could even put on exclusive content of us battling over why Doug is absolutely terrible.
That's what we're going to do. Exclusive series, a 45-part series of us arguing over Doug.
Over Doug. It's why I don't see the point of Doug.
I'm talking exclusively Nickelodeon Doug, by the way. I'm talking Nickelodeon Doug.
I think everybody universally agrees that Disney Doug is absolutely horrible. Disney once again takes a property people love, other than probably me, and just crushes it. So please go check out that. I'm going to be playing some video games, doing some Let's Plays, and everything else. We want to start some tournaments, polls, everything else. See what you guys want to hear from us, and also kind of maybe throw out the tiering in there as well. See where you would tier these costumes and everything else. So please go check out the Patreon. We're going to start adding to that. And also check out the Facebook page and the YouTube channel and everything else. And just a thank you for supporting us by listening or any way possible.
Yeah, echo everything Andrew just said. If you want to go support us, check out our Patreon. You're going to get some fun. We got some fun ideas coming for that. So stay tuned for that. Very excited. Andrew does all this. Like, I just kind of ride on his coattails on this show. He really puts a lot of work into this. I get to come on and just act like an idiot, and that's but I'm really good at it. Andrew puts a lot of work into this, and it comes all out of his pocket. So any support we would very much appreciate. Thank all of you. Andrew, do we know what we're doing next time? I think we do, right?
Yeah, we do. We are having our very first guest on the Nostalgia Funhouse, which is kind of odd because he was almost like one of the first outside family members guests I had on Let's Talk With No Politics. Okay, too, there for a little bit. It was Mr. Brian Fitch, one of your co-hosts for your Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, the airing of grievances.
Yes, I knew I was going to mess it up because I get that old man thing where I name things wrong.
Oh, I do that all the time. No, you don't. Scooby-Doo is how it goes.
I can't spell. I can't spell. That's why I was thinking the other day at my son's football game. They have the cheerleaders, and nobody really pays attention to them.
Yeah,
and I'm like, man. And then they're spelling, and I'm like, I could never do this. I would just be mouthing words when it came down to spelling. I'd be like, wait a minute. And they were spelling attack, and I'm like, wait. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That's how.
You know what's weird when it comes to spelling? Like, I have all the confidence in the world on how something's spelled until somebody just even remotely questions it, and then I just fall apart.
Oh.
Like, I can say attacks, ATTACK, and then all it would take for me to not be confident in that would be Andrew be like, are you sure there's two of those T's in there? And then my mind would be like, I don't know.
My wife does that to me with like everything I do. It's so annoying. I just got to the point where I'm like, shut up. Unless you want to do it, just shut up. And that's what 15 years of marriage will do. After a while, you just tell them that, shut up.
Like, hey, just let me have this, would you?
Yeah.
So stay tuned for that. We're going to do something fun with Brian.
Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, yeah. So, all you Simpsons fans out there, Treehouse of Horror, we're going to be talking about that on the next episode of the Nostalgia Funhouse.
I think the Simpsons have become pretty synonymous with Halloween there for a long time.
For sure, yeah.
So, stay tuned for that. And, as always, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo!